welcome to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry. This is Finish It Friday. Get to see what I've finished this week and what you finished this week. The only thing that I've truly finished this week is the quilt top for the Wednesday video, which you've already seen. I was really hoping to get that on the long arm, but something else came up. So also, I'm undecided on the backing. I don't have a backing ready for it. I'm going to have to put something together. So I might as well just use those leftover scraps that I had over the the layer cake squares that I had left over from that. I might as well use those and come up with something. I'll just have to add a little something that's not on the front with it to make the backing. Yeah. So you think you're going to do something and then get stopped in your tracks. But I also have been working on these little blocks here. I've got all of them done except I need one number 4 block to finish out the number 4 blocks, those 4, and then I need to go back to one of those number 2 blocks and switch out one of the little wedges and resew that, and then I'll be able to put them all together. There's a little bit of a, not complicated, but a pieced border for that. Let's see. I think I have the magazine right here. This right here is just a bunch of like pinwheels. It looks like pinwheels, but it's a bunch of half square triangles. And I have all of those ready on some triangles on a square. Or, is that right? Triangles. The ones on a roll. Triangles on a roll. That's what it is. So I have those all ready to sew up. I just need to sew those up. And that shouldn't take too awfully long. So that project is coming along. Also working on my mother-in-law's stash still. I did get a bunch back from my helper and sent her with some more to process for me. And I'm processing some of the larger pieces, laundering that and all of that. So it takes time. I just kind of do that in between when I need a rest from something. You know, I can make one of these blocks and need a rest. So, yeah, that's kind of been my routine every day this week. Is I've done some Twizzles and I've done some stash and I did my Wednesday video. So that's what happened. I also got in a grouping of Blues Boutiques. So let's go through those real quick. And we got some of our states that we needed. Yes, we did. So I got to color in some more states. These ones are from Mary, and she sent a quilted card. Cute. And these are the ones that she sent. And then I have some from Vermont. It says P, period. But it's from Swanton, Vermont. We did not have Vermont, so thank you so much for sending these. We have Vermont now. Thank you. These are from Brenda of Colorado. Now, we already had Colorado. Somebody on comments yesterday asked me if we needed Colorado. I thought we did. We don't. If you haven't made them yet, you don't have to make them. If you want to make them, or if you've already made them, send them. I will take them. These are from Kathy of Arizona. I think she has 2 sets here. Have an orange and a purple. And then we have a lavender and a teal. Look at the scissors. Cool. These are from Lynn of New Mexico. And that was one of the states that we needed. And so was Vermont. I said that, didn't I? And then we have some from Sue of Minnesota. She has several here too. Well, no, there's just 2. So green and then a purpley and pink one. We have a couple from Texas, from Denise. Nice. And then we have some from Tony of New Mexico. So we got 2 batches from New Mexico. Thank you very much for getting your state colored in. And then this one is from Colorado as well. Pretty card with a cardinal on it, and they are in the blue shades. So I think next week I'm going to start putting some blocks together so you can see what my plan is. I need to kind of play with it too and see how that's going to look, what I'm going to do. So that'll be a nice little surprise for you. Maybe I'll even have, you know, a sneak peek of that on Monday. We'll see. If not, I'll work on it throughout the week and we'll show you again on Friday. So, we got our East Coast states all filled in. And what are we missing? One state, you guys, Montana. Do we have a sewer from Montana? That's all we need is that one block. Are you from Montana but you live somewhere else now? I'll accept that. So we are just about to color in our United States plus Canada plus Australia and then Alaska and Hawaii. We got those. So we're doing good. We're doing good. Hasn't this been so much fun? I've really enjoyed it. Really have. But we probably have at least enough for 2 quilts. Maybe 3 or 4 quilts. I don't know. But I'll make them up. I'll make them up. I will. So let's get to our 10 submissions this week. Our 10 people who sent in photos of their finishes. The first one we have is from Tony, and she has a little small quilt here that is a rabbit in a basket, and she said she saw this cute 6.5-inch foundation paper piece block in the March 2025 American Quilter magazine and decided to make it. However, I didn't want to make a block that small. The templates were printed back to back, so copying them was necessary. Since I needed to copy the templates, I decided to increase the size to 200% and ended up with a 12.5 to 13-inch block, to which I added a 3-inch border and then backed and bound it. It's a nice little blanket for the cute little gray bunny that some child will receive from one of the charities we distribute to in the fall. So yeah, you can just take those foundation paper piece patterns and make them bigger or smaller, whatever the need may be. Add some fabric around and you've got yourself a bigger quilt. So thanks for that tip, Tony, reminding us to do that. Very nice. Karen. Karen says, this is The Dress by Laura Heine, a kit from my local quilt shop. It measures 56 by 56 and I enjoyed practicing my free motion quilting putting it together. I stitched the name of the little girl I'm giving it to in the red border on the right side. Yes, The Dress. I've seen this pattern. I've seen this made up. It's very cute. Very good for a little girl. And good for you for practicing on your free motion quilting. This is a perfect quilt to try it on because there's a lot of pattern and design there. And it looks great. I love it. Very boho, actually. You all know how much I love boho. Dolores had a couple of finishes that she sewed up for her grandson and his girlfriend. His is the Alabama quilt, the red and black and gray there. That's his team. And then the other one for his girlfriend is made from a Villa Rosa pattern called Zipper. And it's done in all of her purples that she had on hand with some gray and some whites. And that's a nice modern style quilt there. Very nice couple of quilts. I'm sure they're enjoying those. And then Susan also had a finish this week. This is something she started at the end of 2023 using fabric she already had. So good for you for raiding your stash and getting that put together there. That's a churn dash. It looks really nice with the purples and the blues and the teals. The next one is from Shirley, and she says in her email, just finished watching your interview with your honey Mark. I really did enjoy watching and hearing about him and his interest. I'm happy he is doing the channels and will most definitely watch them. Thank you, Shirley. Here's my most recent completed project. My daughter wanted a puff quilt. We went to Joann's and I had her pick out fabrics, then gave her paper to design how she wanted it to look. I used Tracy of the Sewing Channel's easy method to do it. She loves it, and that makes me happy. Yeah, she sketched out a butterfly design there with sky and grass. I think it turned out great. I don't think I've made a puff quilt, but I do have a pattern for one. I should try it someday. Great job. This one is from Cynthia, and she also has a astronomy themed quilt here, talking about Mark. And she says, while she she said, I thought I would share this quilt after listening to your hubby. Karen Nyberg is an astronaut and quilter. While she was on Discovery for 6 months, she took pictures of Earth at different times in orbit. The globes are fabric created from those pictures, and this is her own pattern, Orbit. My only regret is I failed matching the background to avoid the line. I made this as a gift to my great-nephew who is into the sky. He and his family are watching Karen's YouTube channel. I have heard of Karen Nyberg. Mark had not. I don't know if he went to look at it yet or not. I will remind him again. But if I remember correctly, it was in the Quilt Museum at Paducah. All of the quilts that were inspired by her adventures in astronomy. And I think your quilt turned out great. I don't think the line really shows up that much to even mention, because of how the pattern in the background of that fabric is not real definite. So I think it looks okay. I think this is really cool though. The fabrics that you chose to represent the planets, I think is really, and the moons, is really spot on. Great job. Wait till you all see his next creation. Mark's next creation. We'll talk about that after I get through with the submissions here. Kathy, she says, here is my latest finish. It's a wall hanging a lady from my church requested me to make for her cottage. I used the layer cake lily pattern, and the fabric line is Melody by Beverly McCullough. It ended up measuring 37 by 55. I did straight line quilting. I would have loved to do free motion quilting on it, but I'm not that confident with my skill yet. Love watching all your videos, and congratulations on you and your husband on his new channel and yours and his adventure into designing your own quilts. Thank you, Kathy. Looking forward to seeing your designs. Yeah, I love that layer cake lily pattern that you used. I used the Tranquility for mine, if you all remember, but Beverly McCullough's fabrics here are perfect for it as well. And I think that probably is going to make a great addition to your friend's cottage. Donna has a maritime quilt, is what she's calling it. Yes, it's got that maritime mariner's star type of look to it. I guess that's what you call that. Haven't done that yet either. She says, I made this quilt. Let's see, I've attached a picture of another blue and white quilt that I made. It is called Maritime, and it was designed by Judy Martin. The pattern can be found in her book, Stellar Quilts. I made this quilt for my son Brian and inscribed it with this message: remember, we're always sleeping underneath the same stars. I know, sounds like a song. Some time ago you said you found that quilting can be done in blocks as well as edge to edge. That made me think of this one, because I quilted the 10-inch border with 9.5-inch square embroidery designs. Yes, I just put them together, flipping them to be mirror images all the way around. I hope you enjoy it. Brian took these pictures for me to send to you. He has had it since the night it was finished. It is his favorite one. Beautiful. I love blue and white quilts. The Mariner's compass there is, I believe those are foundation paper pieced as well, are they not? And you did a great job on it. Good for you finding a way to quilt those on your embroidery. Then I have one from Lucy. These are oranges. She says, I finished this quilt this past week from the Sew Sampler box of June 2020. Orange, you're glad. Orange, you're glad. Orange, you glad? She subscribed to the Sew Sampler back in January through July of 2020, not knowing what she was going to get and not knowing anything about quilt. And when she retired in March of 2021, her goal was to learn how to quilt, and the boxes have just been in the closet ever since. So now she's a little more confident about quilting, and she's getting those boxes out and getting those patterns made up, those kits made up. It turned out great, Lucy. You did a great job. I love the orange theme. and the fabrics that were included in that kit. You did great. The last one is from Nettie. She also has been watching Mark's new video, and she says she has another finish to share here. This is a panel. It's called Drinkers of the Wind. It's a panel from 3 sisters. She made it for a friend of hers daughter who's crazy for horses. This was my first time using Minky on my long arm, and I am a fan. Also, I've seen Hawthorne Fabrics floating around lately. This was my first order from them as well. They sell the Dimple Minky in a lot of colors for around $9 a yard on sale. I thought that was a great price, and they are fast and have some great sales. I agree. I really like Hawthorne Fabrics, and they're in New York, so I tend to get my packages from them pretty quickly. So that's a plus. And then lastly, she said the pattern for the panel, and I think she's talking about the quilting pattern, is called In Flight, sold by So Perfect Notions, like PURRSEWPURRFECT Notions. So Perfect Notions. While I did not purchase the pattern, I absolutely have to credit the design as theirs and not my own. Did you do that free-handed? I don't know. It looks like a pantograph to me. But it's perfect. Perfect. Absolutely perfect for this panel. Look at those curly things on the horses. The pantograph, or the edge-to-edge design, whatever that is perfect for it. So good job, Annie. Perfect for a horse lover. Annie, Nettie, there's 2 names that come on your email. I don't know which one to use. I think it's Nettie. Thank you so much, all of you, for sending your finishes in. These are wonderful and inspiring, as usual. And I just want to take a moment to thank everyone for subscribing and commenting and giving thumbs up on Mark's first video. This week on Tuesday, had a number 2 video on that quilt pattern come out Thursday, and then he will have 2 more, a part 3 and a part 4 next Tuesday and Thursday. So watch for those, especially if you're making the quilt. He will give you the video instructions as well as that free pattern you can download and print from the description box. So there will be more of that coming along. He's already working on his second pattern, and I think it looks really good so far. And I'm going to get busy this weekend and try to get some fabric together to make his first pattern and get that out so you can see that soon, and then pick myself out a panel as well. He's going to be using the normal 23 by 40, 42, I think, pattern size for a panel. So if you have any of those in your stash, get one out, because he's got a layout for you that will make a pretty good size quilt. Probably at least a twin size quilt. It could be a wall quilt, but it would be a big one. So look for a panel in your stash, and you'll have another idea for making something to go around it and ending up with an entire quilt. But thank you so much for the support. It's going really well. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, all those links are in the description box of my videos as well. So this one, if you go looking in the description area of this video, you will find it. So go over there if you haven't, and subscribe and check him out. He does pretty good. All right, have a great weekend. I hope you can find some things to do in your sewing room this weekend. Make some time to treat yourself to a little time in there and do some things on your projects that you have going on. Start something new, or just clean up in there. Look through that fabric that's been sitting around for a while. All right, have a great weekend. I will see you back here on Monday Quilt Chat for all the quilty news that's going on in my world and the world in general. All right, have a great one. We'll see you soon. Bye.